Welcome to Fresh Ideas from Whole Foods Market. Today we're talking about holiday entertaining with me, Matt Keller, Marketing and Community Liaison for Whole Foods Market, and our guest, Justin Smith. He's a meat and seafood team leader from the Somerville Whole Foods Market. And then our friend Dina, she's a producer, and everyone knows her. Hi! Dina's the marketing specialist for the Cambridge and Somerville locations of Whole Foods Market. So how are you all doing? How are you all doing?
Excellent.
Justin, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
This is so exciting.
It certainly is.
Yeah, so here, on today's show, we're going to talk about a few things. Let's see, so we're focusing on our meat quality standards, and Justin's going to talk about that a little bit. And then we're going to show some videos, and then we're going to talk some recipes, do that kind of thing. Lots of fun things for you. And we changed up the format a bit. I don't know if you noticed, but we noticed. Okay. So should we get started?
Absolutely.
Should we show the video first and then talk about the standards, or should we?
Yeah, we could do that.
Does that make sense? Yeah, so we're going to give you an intro to our standards from this really great video we have talking all about Whole Foods Market. It's very exciting, and hopefully I can get it going for you. I probably can, I'm sure. Or maybe not. Oh, there we go. All right, are you ready? Here we go.
I grew up in Holland. I was born and brought up in a butcher shop, and kind of like been there all my life. Grew up in the meat business. My dad had a butcher shop, a slaughterhouse, sausage making. We did everything, and my mom worked in a shop as well. So if I want to spend time with my parents, I had to be in the shop and work with them. Creativity always drew me even more. Especially when it came to sausage making, come up with new recipes. I mean, the sky is the limit, and try it. And then it's always, I love it when people kind of like when you make something new, say, wow, that's awesome, man. It tastes good. Food is like kind of like people come together. I'm Theo Weenan, Global Meat Coordinator for Whole Foods Market. Big part of what I learned from my dad being a butcher and working with the farmers directly. I can meet a farmer or a rancher, and in 5 minutes I know he's passionate about it. This is his real passion. That's why he grows these animals like that. And many times I come across folks too, and I know it's just about money. That's all they want, and it's important. But on the other hand, if they don't believe in it, I really don't feel like I can work with them then and buy product from them. We require a lot from these suppliers, so there also should be a return as well. Our producers, they need more space, they need to take better care of these animals. They got to be there, 24/7. They're watching these animals, feeding them.
One of the main differences between Theo and a traditional buyer is he 100% knows what he's talking about. He knows the importance of animal welfare. He knows the importance of the background of the genetics. He knows the reasons why you can't just pack a bunch of chickens in a house.
Crystal Lake Farms, you go into a chicken house and it's quiet. I'm like, what's happening over here? Why is it so quiet? Because the chickens feel comfortable. They put a temperature in there, 70, 75 degrees. They're good. They move around. Where in some instances in the industry, they raise the temperature to 90 degrees because at 90 degrees, guess what? The animal drinks more water, it eats more, but at the same time, you can hardly hear yourself talk. That's how loud these chickens are because they're not comfortable. I mean, if I'm not comfortable, I'll be moving around and making noises as well. But if you're comfortable, you're relaxed. So you still gotta, you have your business and you gotta grow animals, but you want to feel good about it as well. And when you feel less stress from the animals, you're going to be less stressed as well. started with the standards. It was new. I mean, nobody likes change, and everybody believes their system is the best. We have every farm and ranch, feedlot has been visited by a third party. And in the last 15 months, over 2,500 farms and ranches have been visited by a third party. And there's a checklist. I mean, checklist is over 100 points. They go through and they check on it. You know, no tail docking, no teeth clipping on hogs, no gestation, no farrowing crates. Somebody's actually been on these farms. And when we launched it, yeah, there was a little bit of fight back, and I'll be honest with you that we lost about 30% of our producers that didn't want to go through it for whatever reason it was. So then we had to find new suppliers. After 2 years, it really caught on with the industry, and the industry kind of felt as well, like, wow, now we have something that, okay, we make a statement, we believe in it, but now we also have it certified by a third party as well.
Before we got in with Whole Foods, we tried some of the local grocery stores, took them samples. They just didn't seem that interested in it. You know, they said, you know, well, we can get this pork cheaper somewhere else. And, you know, we was almost ready to throw our hands up. And once we got in with Whole Foods, they basically fell in love with our pork chops and our bacon. We're having trouble keeping up with Whole Foods, actually, with our hog numbers for what the demand is out there. Personally, I just don't think there's no other grocery store that is involved so much with the individual farms like Whole Foods is.
We do make a commitment that we buy the product from them. So they kind of like, they know what their income is for next year already. I mean, how nice is that? You wake up in the morning, it's like, oh, for the next 3 months or 6 months or 18 months, you know, my product is sold, what I'm working on. Where in the conventional industry, you wake up in the morning and like, oh no, who's going to buy it from me? Do I have a customer? And what's the market going to do today? That got to be tough. That's where a lot of our producers, they already know that the product they have in the field is already sold. That's a pretty good feeling, I would think. Less stress for the producers as well, just like the animals. With our standards being so high, it really has changed the industry. And by us making that commitment, I really feel like it's a game changer. I also feel like at the end of the day, the people that eat meat, and we've been eating meat for many years, and we probably eat meat for many more years, but let's make sure that the meat you eat comes from animals that are raised at the highest animal welfare standard. And I'm fine with folks kind of like, you know, throwing darts at our program. It only makes us better. When I travel and visit farms, it was like, wow, now I understand why my dad was really dealing with these farms, or where he was looking to let the animals rest at a certain time to have less stress. A lot of times it goes back when, in at least daily or weekly, that I come across something like, wow, that's why he was doing it. To get the best quality meat, you got to have the best raising practices. And to get the best raising practices, you got to get the best producers that believe in the program. But the end result is still the best quality product to put on your plate, and it all comes together.
That was a good video.
It certainly was.
Yeah. Should we talk a little bit about our meat standards after that? What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, let's chat. There you go. Tell us what you know, Justin.
Well, I've been working meat with Whole Foods for 15 years, and the standards have always been outstanding. There's always been like a traceability, the no hormones, no antibiotics, no animal byproducts. That's always been like Whole Foods standards. And then with this GAP program with animal welfare, the animal welfare steps, it's really been amazing, because I mean that program's only been in place for about 6 years. And actually I remember, like, when he was saying there was pushback from farmers when that program started. I remember we couldn't get a lot of stuff for a while.
They weren't willing to take that next step.
Stuff ran short when when the Global Animal Partnership was first taking off, and then like more and more farmers got behind it, and it's a really cool thing. And
it's really taken off. Huh?
Yeah,
that's something to be proud of.
Absolutely,
really nice.
It certainly is.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about how you got into your position. Tell us how what you do and what you're passionate about and why you like working at Whole Foods.
Well, sure. Believe it or not, I just grabbed an application one day. It was a job. I quit my job as a line cook on an impulse, and decided that, hey, I'll work at Whole Foods for a while, and that while turned into 15 years. And
15 years is a long while.
And I started as a clerk in the meat department at the River Street store, and got into the apprenticeship program and became a meat cutter, and then later got into leadership. I've worked at 6 stores, and now I'm leading the Somerville team, and it's really great. And I mean, I just love the knowing like that I can trust where my meat comes from and seeing the traceability. Like we get.
You can taste it. A lot of people say you can taste it. A lot of people think that's weird, but
absolutely.
Well, I mean,
the more the animal's stressed, it's less good it's going to taste. I mean, it's really true. And we get every week we get a list of farms that our local beef comes from, and then we have.
So you always know exactly where it's coming from. Can always trace it. That's great.
Yeah, and we have our logging system for our grinds, so we can take a package of ground beef and say, okay, this came in this day from this supplier, and this was at this farm, and this was this cow, and we can really just take it right back to the source.
Right.
And the traceability and the quality standards, the animal welfare standards are just outstanding.
Right. Well, talking about meat, I know I love meatballs. How about you guys?
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, we have a really nice recipe we're going to share with you all about, these cocktail meatballs in tomato sauce. I think Dina chose this recipe.
I did, and it's a new recipe on the Whole Foods Market YouTube channel.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's right.
All right. And then, and so we grind our beef daily in the store. So you're always going to get like this really nice, you were talking about the traceability.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's watch
entertaining season coming. This is great.
Make a big batch and freeze it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So exciting. All right, let's see what they have to show us here. That makes it look easy, huh?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
It certainly does.
Right? I'm giving you a preview of what we're going to show next.
That's right.
But talk about entertaining. Like, that sounds really good.
Really easy, too.
It looks, they make it look really easy. It looks like you can make meatballs in a minute and 8 seconds, you know? But no, that looks good. Why did that recipe speak to you, Dina?
It spoke to me because of the quality of our beef. It spoke to me because of the ease of the preparation and the wholesome ingredients that accompany the beef, ground beef. And also, I think, excuse me, it appeals to everybody, I think. Great for kids, great for grown-ups, great for a holiday party.
Yeah, right. And really easy to keep. You can just like put it in the crock pot.
That's right.
And have it right at your party.
That's another point.
People can just go right into it.
Exactly.
Or not.
If you're throwing a party, you can do it hours earlier in the
Yeah.
day and just have it done.
don't have to worry
One
about
less
it.
thing to worry about.
And then those meatballs fall apart. They're just like so delicious. Well, another aspect of entertaining, we're gonna get a little fancier and talk about some lamb. Ooh. Leg of lamb with minced salsa verde. And then salsa fresh herbs instead of the traditional jelly. I've never had the traditional jelly, have you guys?
That's when I was growing up, that's what
You
we would
always
have,
had the
but
jelly.
it was the jelly with the artificial food coloring.
Right, it
And
was
this is
bright
nice-
green.
Oh yeah.
Bright
Minty,
green,
yeah.
very green.
I never had it. I
Well, it's
didn't know.
nice. It's a nice sweet to go against like the gaminess of the lamb.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That makes sense. All right, well, let's see what they have to say here. Let's see what Molly has to say. Here, we'll have another recipe for you guys. Maybe. What do I got? Well, I hope I have a recipe. We'd love to show it to you.
If not, we'll tell you where to
I know,
find it.
right? If not, you can
Well-
find it on our YouTube channel.
I'll just take our
Well,
word for us.
but here's the other thing. I mean, it's on Whole Foods Market. WholeFoods.com has thousands of recipes.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and a
and
recipe
you can even go and
finder.
like search.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so exciting. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, the recipe finder makes it really easy to just go
does.
ahead and search, to really find what you're looking for, and then to go from there. Yeah, I don't know if the video is going to show. Well, that's a little...
Well, this is live
that's a
TV,
little...
everybody.
I know, that's a little hiccup, but still pretty fun. Oh, wait, hold on. I think we got saved. Alrighty. Here, let's try this
I grew
again.
up with Sunday lamb dinners at my grandparents' house. Those featured mint jelly. This lamb has mint salsa verde, which is a very cool modern spin on that original. The lamb has a super simple seasoning mixture. You'll use 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. Just go ahead and pour that right over the lamb in the roasting pan. Then do 2 teaspoons of coarse sea salt, and then 3/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper. And then you'll just rub the seasoning mixture in. One thing that's so wonderful about leg of lamb is that you can ask your butcher to go ahead and trim and tie the leg. And then what I always do, because it's pretty, is ask for the bone to be Frenched, so it's exposed like this. So it makes a really nice presentation. And now it's ready to go in the oven. So the lamb is going to roast now for about 20 minutes at a high temperature so that it gets a nice brown crust. After 20 minutes, go ahead and lower the oven temperature to 350 and then let the lamb continue to roast for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. So while that's happening, you can make your mint salsa verde. So the first step is all your fresh herbs. You'll have about 3 cups fresh mint leaves. Pop them in the food processor. And since parsley stems are so tender, I'll just use the whole thing. Same rule applies for cilantro. Just go ahead and cut halfway down, 1 cup. And then you'll need 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. And then you'll add the remaining teaspoon salt. So you need 1/4 teaspoon crushed red chili flakes. This adds a really nice spice. Okay, and then you'll have 4 garlic cloves. Just trim the ends off. And then you just need to roughly chop them. Since they're going in the food processor, it doesn't need to be precise. Give the herbs a couple pulses. There's not much liquid in here, so it's going to be a little bit tricky at first, so be patient. Then you're going to add 6 tablespoons olive oil. So the reason you add the oil while the motor is running is so that the sauce emulsifies and looks more like a cohesive dressing. And so here it looks all bright green instead of being, you know, little flecks of the herbs and the olive oil. I'm going to go ahead and cover the very surface of the sauce with plastic wrap. I just don't want it to oxidize. I want it to be super bright green when I serve it. It's easiest to check the temperature of something like this when it's out of the oven. Go ahead and put it in. You want it to be sort of at the thickest part of the leg. Just gonna be down here. Make sure you don't touch the bone. And then once it hits 145, you know you're good to go. You just need the lamb to rest for about 15 minutes and then you'll remove the butcher's twine and get it ready to carve. And then serve the sauce just right alongside. A super impressive dish for your spring table. Leg of lamb with mint salsa verde.
Well, she makes it look easy, huh? I always get scared of cooking lamb. I don't know why, but maybe I'll have some. Maybe I'll try it. All right. Well, thank you so much, Justin, for joining us. We really appreciate you having your knowledge and having you here. And thank you, Dina.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah,
thank you, Justin.
And thank you, Cambridge and Somerville, for tuning in. And I guess we'll see you next time. Like, you know, what are we going to do next time? Something healthy? Something
New Year's-ish?
About maybe a resolution? I don't know.
Absolutely.
You'll have to come back. So we'll see you next time. Thank you.